question I'm here to answer: can you kill Minecraft's unkillable Warden with only your fist in hardcore Minecraft? To answer this question, first we'll need to find out if it's possible in survival. You can easily punch him, die, and respawn to eventually kill him. This, however, would be a horrible way that would take hours, and there would be a chance the Warden would just disappear altogether. So I needed to find a good and effective method that would, number 1, make sure to kill the Warden with nothing but my fist, number 2, make sure that the Warden doesn't disappear or get away, and finally, number 3, to make sure I don't die. At first, I thought I should have a skeleton accidentally shoot him and distract the Warden while I punched him. This didn't work, however, because the skeleton would eventually die due to the sonic boom. Next, I thought it would be a good idea to have an iron golem distract him while I punched the Warden. Although I could heal the iron golem and save him from the sonic boom, the Warden would eventually switch his attention to me. And it came to me. The Warden can't see and relies mostly on sound. So was it possible to distract them with sound? Yes, I could use a note block to distract them, but similar to the iron golem method, he would eventually switch his attention to me when I punched him. So I tried something. I knew that if you aggro certain mobs and switch dimensions, whether it be the end or the nether, it would un-aggro and completely forget about me once I was back in the overworld. So would the Warden also forget if I switched dimensions? The answer is yes. Once I went to the nether and came back, he had completely un-aggroed from me. Now, all I had to do was trap him in hardcore and set up a simple repeating note block, and boom, I could kill the Warden. So now, all I had to do was load into a world. At first glance, I noticed a village and ran straight for it. I checked out some of the houses, finding pretty much useless stuff inside, so I did what any normal human would do. I demolished their houses, extracted their resources, slaughtered their protector, and I enslaved them, forced them to sell me what I wanted until I gained ultimate power. Maybe that's a little too intense. Next, I was on my way to an ancient city, traveling a couple thousand blocks. Along the way, I would manage to find a ruined portal, and I just so happened to find another village. Arrival! To eliminate the gruesome task of searching for an ancient city, which on average spawns 1,000 blocks away from spawn, before the run, I may have stumbled across a few coordinates. Well, anyways, after a bit of mining and a few minor difficulties, I had arrived. Now all I had to do was mine down to the ancient city below, which couldn't have been any easier except for the fact that Mojang put plenty of mobs in the way to stop me from defeating their own unkillable Warden in a pitiful manner. Anyways, now I finally had arrived. Now the hard part came. Setting up the trap while also not spawning any Wardens. I found a decent spot in the ancient city to set up the trap, although another problem would soon arise. How do I get down without summoning the Warden? I knew that I could only avoid the skulk sensors with wool, but I was only carrying 1 block of wool. I couldn't figure out what to do, so I took a leap of faith. And boom! I hit the ground. Skulk sensors went off around me. Luckily, no shriekers went off, though. Now, it was time for me to set up the trap. I collected some sensors and completely barricaded the summoning area of the Warden. Then I finished setting up the trap by digging out the area below and preparing a safe, spawn-proof nether base. Now, it was time to spawn him. After I disposed of my armor and any weapons or items that would help the average player kill the Warden, I was ready. I awkwardly stood on the edge, triggering the shriekers, and began to summon the Warden. Although it was a struggle to get him in, eventually I would come to lure him into the trap I created. So now, let the murdering commence. Hey, Future Hijack here. While you're watching this segment, could you please like and subscribe? It helps me a ton, and I put a bunch of time and effort into making this video enjoyable. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the video. I've already shown how this trap works, so I won't go into any major details. I immediately traveled into the Nether to reset the Warden's attack. Again, a problem would arise. What I didn't consider at the spawn-proof Nether base was that a zombified piglin could spawn on the obsidian in the Nether portal. This meant I had to be cautious when hitting the Warden because I wasn't wearing any armor whatsoever. Meaning if I hit the zombified piglin, I would most certainly die. So with a bit of sheer luck, I managed to kill the Warden without dying. My reward? A single Skulk Catalyst and 5 experience orbs. Hopefully this answered your question, because this took me way too long. If you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. Alright, I'm out.